Green contracts are a novel feature of the Signum blockchain, designed to make smart contract deployment more affordable and environmentally friendly. They achieve this by leveraging the power of code reuse. Instead of deploying redundant copies of identical contract code, green contracts allow developers to link to an existing contract's compiled code. This innovative approach offers several benefits. Firstly, it reduces the amount of data stored on the blockchain, contributing to a smaller environmental footprint. Secondly, it lowers transaction fees for developers, making Signum more accessible for innovation. At the heart of green contracts lies the concept of code reuse. Traditional smart contract deployments involve submitting the entire contract code to the blockchain. Green contracts, however, only require the deployment of a unique identifier, the machine code hash ID. This ID acts as a pointer to an existing contract's compiled code, eliminating the need for duplication. Developers can leverage this feature to deploy multiple instances of the same contract logic without incurring the cost of repeated code storage. This approach not only saves resources, but also simplifies the deployment process. By referencing pre-existing code, developers can focus on customizing contract parameters and variables, streamlining the development workflow. The integrity and security of green contracts rely heavily on the accurate matching of machine code hash IDs. This ID serves as a fingerprint, uniquely identifying a specific version of compiled contract code. When deploying a green contract, it is crucial to ensure that the hash ID used matches the one from the original contract being referenced. Any discrepancy in these IDs will result in a failed deployment, as the blockchain cannot guarantee the execution of mismatched code. Therefore, developers must exercise caution and double-check the hash IDs during both the initial deployment and any subsequent green deployments. This meticulous approach guarantees that the correct code is executed, maintaining the integrity and security of the smart contract ecosystem. Section 4. A step-by-step guide to green deployment. Deploying a green contract on Signum is a straightforward process, but it requires attention to detail. Let's break down the steps involved. First, begin by obtaining the machine code hash ID of the contract you wish to reuse. This information is typically available on the Block Explorer or within the development environment used to deploy the original contract. Next, create a new contract file and, instead of pasting the entire contract code, insert only the necessary variables and parameters that you want to customize. These are the elements that will differ between your green contract and the original. Then, within your green contract code, include a reference to the original contract's machine code hash ID. This reference acts as a link, instructing the Signum network to use the pre-existing code associated with that ID. Finally, with the hash ID reference in place, you can proceed with deploying your green contract to the Signum blockchain. Once deployed, verify the successful deployment and execution by checking the transaction details on a Signum Block Explorer. Section 5. Adjusting your contracts for green deployment. When preparing a contract for green deployment, there are certain aspects to keep in mind. While the core logic of the contract remains untouched, you'll likely need to adjust variables and parameters to customize the contract's behavior. Signum's smart contract language provides a convenient way to handle this, the keyword. By declaring variables with, you indicate that their values will be determined at the time of deployment and remain constant thereafter. This is particularly useful when reusing contract code, as it allows you to create multiple instances of the same contract with different initial states. For example, let's say the original contract has a variable called. When deploying a green contract, you would simply specify the desired value during deployment without modifying the original contract code. This flexibility enables the creation of diverse contracts from a single source. Section 6. Conclusion. Embracing a greener Signum. Green contracts represent a significant step forward in smart contract technology. They highlight the Signum blockchain's commitment to sustainability and cost-effectiveness. By embracing this innovative approach, developers can reduce their environmental impact while making Signum more accessible. The simplicity of green contract deployment, coupled with its economic and environmental benefits, makes it a compelling choice for developers. As the Signum ecosystem continues to evolve, green contracts will play a pivotal role in shaping a more sustainable and efficient blockchain future.